Hello students, today we will discuss a topic of frequency modulation and demodulation. Both the topics they are in the chapter of modulation and demodulation. So first of all, frequency modulation. So in frequency modulation, the frequency of the carrier wave is modified in accordance with the instantaneous value of the modulating wave, keeping EC constant. Therefore, the equation of the FM wave becomes EC cos theta t. EC remains constant in FM. Now theta t angular displacement is given as omega t is equal to d theta by dt. So from here you can easily find the expression for theta t in terms of omega. As we have said that the frequency gets modified, therefore the instantaneous value of frequency of FM wave omega t, it is equal to the frequency of carrier wave plus the instantaneous value of the modulating signal ES. If we put the value of ES here kf is the constant of proportionality, you will get the expression for omega t, and also if we put this value of omega t here, then we can easily find the value of angular displacement given by equation 2. So this value of angular displacement, if we put in equation 1, you will get the desired expression for FM wave. Now equation 3 gives you the equation of FM wave. From here you can find the frequency of FM wave as omega t by 2 pi, and also with very simple calculations you can find the value of Ft minus Fc, it is kf Es over 2 pi, which is the maximum deviation in the frequency of FM wave. So a quantity comes, that is modulation index, given by MF. So it is defined as the ratio of maximum frequency deviation to the frequency of modulating signal. So it is delta F maximum over Fs. So you can put the value of delta F maximum and you will get the expression for modulation index given by equation 5. So all these values are beneficial when you are to solve the numericals. Now equation C will give you the value of FM wave in terms of modulation index. Now below there are some important points which you must know about FM wave. First one is that in FM wave there are infinite number of side frequencies given by the values Fc plus minus Fs plus minus 2Fs and so on up to Fc plus minus NFs. So there are large number of side frequencies in FM wave, whereas in AM wave you know that there were only two side frequencies. One was Fc plus Fs and on the left side it was Fc minus Fs. Other point is that the amplitude of the side frequencies, it goes on decreasing with the order. It means that as the order increases and becomes 2Fs, 3Fs and so on, the frequency, the amplitude of these orders, they go on decreasing. The third point is the bandwidth of the FM wave is 2nFs. So bandwidth, it is the difference between the two extreme side frequencies. So first extreme is Fc plus NFs and other on the left side it is Fc minus NFs. So their difference is 2nFs. The total power of FM wave is equal to the power of carrier wave. So these are some of the points you must remember for FM wave. There is another topic in the book, that is the advantage of FM wave over AM wave. So it's a simple theoretical topic in which you just have to compare FM wave with the AM wave. Here you can see there are some points which distinguish FM wave over AM wave. So you can do this topic on your own from any electronics book. Now the other topic in this lecture is demodulation. So demodulation is the process of extracting or recovering the signal, audio signal, from the modulated carrier wave. So as you know that our concern is with the audio signal. We want to transmit the audio signal from one place to the other. As the strength of audio signal is small, is weak, therefore it is not possible to send the audio signal as it is from one place to another. Therefore we use the process of modulation, in which the audio signal is superposed on the carrier wave. Now demodulation is just the opposite of modulation, because when the audio signal or the AM or FM wave, when it reaches the desired place, now we want to extract the audio signal. So that process of extraction or recovering the audio signal is called demodulation. So this is a simple demodulating circuit which we will discuss in this lecture. Here you can see that the AM waves which have reached the desired place, it gets transmitted through this antenna into the circuit. This combination of variable capacitor C1 and the transformer secondary, they act as a LC tank circuit which oscillates in resonance with the AM wave. That means the LC, that oscillator, it oscillates with the or vibrates with the same frequency of the AM wave. So we get this AM wave in this circuit. Now when this AM wave, it gets it is passed through the diode, we know the property of diode that it does not conduct during reverse bias. Therefore during the forward bias, the positive part of the AM wave gets transmitted through the diode, but the negative part, when it gets tried to get passed through this diode, it becomes a reverse bias. Therefore due to infinite resistance, the lower portion or the negative portion of the AM wave, it gets filtered out. So only now you have the upper portion of the positive portion. Now here is the capacitor C. What is its role in this circuit? We will discuss. So here the capacitor C, it charges to peak value of the input voltage, and this output of this demodulator circuit will be like this zigzag output. It is due to repeated charging and discharging of the capacitor C. Also, if the time constant RC, it is large, then the rate of discharge of capacitor will be small, and vice versa. So if the time constant is small, then the rate of discharge will be large, and in that case this fluctuation will be more. That means that the capacitor will charge and discharge quickly. Now if the time constant is large, then capacitor C will discharge through R slowly, and due to this clipping of output signal of the negative peak take place. So what is it? I will show you in the graph. Here you can see that if the time constant is large, that is RC is large, then in that case the rate of discharge of the capacitor will be small. In that case the capacitor, the voltage across the capacitor, it could be above the voltage of that AM wave input voltage. So from graph you can see that this horizontal line, or it may not be horizontal, but that line is above this curve of the EM wave. So in that case, this negative portion of the curve will get clipped. Clipped means that gets it cannot be seen. So we want that the rate of discharge has to be adjusted such that this negative portion does not get clipped. And for this, what we want, we just want that there should be some maximum value of time constant which you have to fix. How to fix that value? The slope of the curve which shows the discharging of the capacitor voltage should be equal to or less than the slope of the output signal. So that means that the slope of the capacitor discharge, it should be less than or equal to the slope of output signal. So here you can see this is the curve or the line showing the capacitor discharge. So its slope should be less than the slope of this EM wave. Then only you will get that negative portion intact. So this is the expression of that EM wave which you have already learned in our previous lectures. So at that particular time t equal to t naught, the slope of the output signal is given by this first derivative. You can easily find this. So this is all mathematical. Now this is the value of the AM voltage at time t naught given by equation 3. Now the rate of discharge of capacitor is given by this expression. This is also we have done in the +2 class, that is the voltage across the capacitor. So at that particular value t equal to t naught, the rate of discharge you can find by first derivative, and it comes out like this. And if you will put the value of Et naught from equation 3, we will get equation 5. So now what is our requirement? That the slope of the capacitor discharge voltage, it should be less than or equal to the slope of the EM wave voltage. We will put both the expressions in this inequality. You can see that this is both the expressions. You just have to solve. This is simple inequality, you can easily solve. And from here, by doing some mathematical steps, you can find the expression for that condition for the this demodulation. So at the last step, these steps I haven't elaborated much, but I have solved as given in the book. So they are not that much difficult, and the desired condition is given by equation 7. So the value of the time constant, it should always be less than this value on the right hand side. For the 100% modulation, you know, the modulation index is given by 1. So we put this value in equation 7, and we get RC, it is less than or equal to 0, which is not possible rather. So experimentally it was found that to get a distortion free or any or you get, if you want to have a good demodulation network, what is its requirement is the time constant should be less than or equal to 1 over omega s ME. So this is all the expression for the demodulating circuit. I hope all of you must have understood this lecture. So thanks all of you.